Hello friends, let's find the derivative of a function um, f of x equals 3x squared using the definition. So I want to use the definition, the definition. And what's the definition here? The definition of if the derivative of a function, right, is defined to be this part, this equation here, right? If the limit exists, if that limit exists. So if I want to find the derivative of a function using the definition, basically what I need to do is that I need to compute this part. I need to compute this part here. That's what I need to compute. Now the question is, what does that part mean, right? So you have your f of x, right? And that x plus h there, this x plus h here is just, I have my x, and then I just a little, just that h there is just a little change. For example, if x is maybe 1, my h can be 0.1, right? H can be 0.1. So 1 plus 0.1 is going to be what? 1.1. So my x plus h in that case is going to be 1.1. So h is just a little change, right? It's just a little change. So if I want to compute this derivative using the definition. So I just, like I said, I just need to compute that limit. So now I have my f of x, which is 3x squared, 3x squared, right? What I need to compute is I need to compute this part. I need to compute um, f of x plus h. Since I already have f of x, right? I need to compute f of x plus h. So just to help you understand, if I have, since my f of x is equal to 3x squared, what is going to be f of a? So that means anywhere I see x, I'm going to plug in what? A. So it's going to be 3a squared. So what about f of my name is Ofe, O-F-E. F of Ofe is going to be 3. Anywhere I see x, I'm going to plug in Ofe square, right? Okay. Now, since I want to compute the limit, I need to compute that. Since I want to compute the derivative, sorry, I need to compute that limit, right? I need to compute that limit. So, and we have to take it step by step. So I already have this part, which is 3x squared, right? I need to compute this part here, right? So that part is just going to be f of x plus h. So it's going to be 3. Anywhere I see x, I plug in what? X plus h, right? So if I simplify this, this is going to be 3x squared plus 2xh plus h squared. Basically, how did I get that? How did I get that? This is 3x plus h, x plus h. And when you simplify this, you get this part. So, okay. Now, what I can do is I can just multiply the 3 into everything, just distribute. So I have 3x squared plus 6xh plus 3h squared. So I have that. So now I have my f of x plus h. The next thing I want to do is that um, I want to compute this part. I want to compute this part here. F of x plus h minus f of x. So that's the next step. So the next step is going to be, or yeah, the next step is just going to we are just going to compute that numerator, right? So I have f of x plus h minus f of x. So f of x plus h is what? From here, I already have my f of x plus h is 3x squared plus 6xh plus 3h squared. So I have 3x squared plus 6 xh plus 3h squared minus f of x. What's my f of x? My f of x is this 3x squared, right? So it's given. So my f of x is 3x squared. So I have 3x squared, right? So now if you look at this expression, something can cancel. What can cancel? 3x squared can cancel this 3x squared, right? So I'm going to be left with what? I'm going to be left with 6xh plus 3h squared, right? Now, the derivative, so I'm going to write this formula, f prime of x f prime of x, let me use a different color, um, blue. F prime of x is going to be the limit as h approaches 0. I'm using this formula here, right? Of f of x plus h minus f of x. So from here, I have that is going to be 6xh plus 3h squared because I already computed it here, right? So everything divided by h. Okay, what can I do, right? If I plug in 0 for h because it's as h approaches 0, I'm going to get 0 in the denominator. So I want to avoid the denominator being 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify the numerator. I'm going to factor out an h because an h is common. So I have 6x plus 3h divided by h, right? So this h here can cancel out this h. So I'm just going to be left with limits as h approaches 0 of 6x plus 3h, right? And this is a polynomial expression, so I can just plug in, you know, uh, 0 for h. So I'm going to have 6x plus 3 times 0. And this is just going to be 6x plus 0, which is equal to 6x. So the derivative is just going to be, so f prime of x is what? Is 6x. And this is actually consistent with the power rule, right? If you know the power rule for finding derivative, this is consistent with that because with the power rule, if I have, let me just do this by the side. If I have f of x is equal to 3x squared, the power rule tells me that I'll bring down so my f prime of x is going to be, I'm going to bring down the 2, the power, which is 2, and I'm going to subtract 1 from the power, right? So 2 minus 1 is just going to be 1. So I'm going to subtract 1 from the power. And then if you simplify that, you just get what? 6x. So these and these, they are the same. So that's it. That's how to use the definition of derivative to find the derivative of a function. So if you are asked that you should find the derivative of a function using the definition, this is how you do it. I hope this helps. Thank you.